You good? What's going on, guys? Welcome to Wired Wednesdays. Sorry, we are a little bit late today. I literally just hopped out of the shower and I just got back in town, so no jogging suit. It's too hot. It's too hot. But okay. I don't know. It's like it was like 95 out today. It was crazy. It was crazy. Here, let me open up the chat real quick. Retro Mike, what's going on? Oh, you got the emojis. I can't see that on StreamYard. So, oh yeah, they're out. The emojis are out today. Turtle Tech, what's up? Son of a Rabish, MC, Automatic Beats, what's up, man? Toxic Miner, Mr. Goat, and what? With a very good question that Dave will answer here in a second. Bad Ace, what's up, man? 10 minutes to midnight. Max Voltage, what's up, bro? Wafo J, I think I know who you are. Welcome. And Martin, what's going on, guys? Dave, you want to take the first question here?
Sure. One.
I don't know what this is. What is this? How much energy? I saw that. I read the first sentence. I was like, yeah. I don't know what. I don't know. I didn't listen a whole lot in school.
I didn't listen a whole lot in school. What the hell?
Yeah. Who has a peasant ticket to Bitcoin? Retro Mike, I think we have the Terra team got what's it called? Industry passes. So the only reason we got that is because we have a booth. So I think if you get a booth, they just give you the passes. So I don't really know what it means.
You have any storms over there, Mike? You got storms going on?
Is it lighting up out there?
No. It's just that, like, everything like froze.
Oh. Yeah.
It's okay.
So
you got to use that full 5 gig, Mike. That's all.
Actually, I'm running on a VPN right now, so that might be not good. I'm afraid to turn it off. I think it might. Will it turn this off if I switch between?
Yeah, just leave it alone.
Just leave it. Okay. Let me know if it's bad.
It just gave a little.
Got an industry pass. Amy got one too. Both from a mining reseller not named Terra. Nice. Yeah, I think they only gave us 5 for the booth. I mean, we have, like, granted a very small booth there. Still impressive though. I do emphasize that. But it's it's almost like when you because I've dealt with the mining disrupt stuff, and you see the size of it, right? Mining disrupt was huge. It was really good, but this one's like a 5x5, which I didn't really think about when I was looking at it on paper and, like, doing the billing side, working with Hawk on it. And then they send you, like, renders of what it's going to look like, and it's like an ATM machine. Like, you know, there could be one dude there that's, like, talking, you know what I mean? So it's I won't tell Mike. Don't worry, Retro Mike. Send me an industry pass. I'll join. If we had extras, 100. We actually are having some friends of the company come with us, and we couldn't even really get discounts on regular passes. We ended up having to buy those 2 people, like, regular passes. And so it's like,
wow.
See, I that's why I can't do the marketing side of stuff. You know, I did with GPURisers and everything like that, but we never did, like, conventions and stuff like that, because in my head, I'm like, you know, we're paying you this much, like, we should get 40 passes, you know what I mean? But it doesn't work like that. So, Mr. Martin, can you recommend a VPN to use both free and paid? Thanks. I use the one for Brave browser. It's like $10 a month. The only reason why I did it is because Binance, I got, like, an alert from Binance, and it was like, sorry I'm talking so much, Dave, you can just cut me off whenever, but I got an email from Binance, and me and my buddy, like, in 2016, we that's when we started mining, and we used Binance, and, like, to transact in Binance, you needed, like, Binance coin, BNB or whatever it is. So I got an email and it's like, hey, you have to, like, we're closing it all out for non-US people. So I couldn't like log into the website with, just my computer. So I had to get the VPN, switch it over to like Switzerland or something in Germany. And then I could log in and do it, which after 3 hours, I had like 0.06 BNB left. So it was uneventful. But to answer your question, Martin, I've been Brave. The Brave browser one's easy. It's like a plugin. I do have a complaint though that for some reason, and I don't know why, I can no longer log into some. That's why it's on right now. Is actually is because Vast AI. I use that for some stuff. So I was checking something real quick on that before the stream, and I can't connect to the website with my regular IP address anymore because I think I just was switching between the VPN because the VPN I didn't know, but it was like automatically turning on every time I opened my browser. And I think it just like blocked my regular IP address or something. And then, so that doesn't work. And I also can't play Call of Duty Warzone without a VPN now. So I don't know. I don't know why.
You can't play without a VPN?
Yeah, like my regular IP address, like Blizzard doesn't allow me to like because I use the Activision like login for it, not Steam, and it doesn't let me. It sometimes lets me, but like my internet's awful, like on it, and then it just eventually kicks me off. There's other logins.
So. They're like your lag switching or some shit. So they're like,
yeah, I think it's because I was switching so much between the two of them. Like if my browser was up and I
lag switching.
Yeah.
It'll take you off for that split second. They're like, oh, what's this guy trying to do?
Yeah, so it's super annoying.
You're on COD. I get it now. All right.
Yeah. GPURisers, tell your ISP to refresh your public IP. I'm 100% gonna do that.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna get rid of the VPN because I don't use it. Or I'll just, if I need to use it, I'll just do it on my laptop next time or something. I don't know why I did it on my desktop to begin with, but yeah, it's one of those things. But I also have my Flux nodes at my house, so those are linked with the IP, but that just takes a second to go in there. Not a second, but you know what I mean, to go in there and update it. Integra guy, what's up, man? Good to see you again. It's not about the size of the booth, it's what you do with it. Thanks, Goat.
Nice.
I don't know if we're going to be like manning it as much as like the screen is just going to have like cycle through stuff. Howdy everyone. Fuck Flux respectively. Bad Ace, why don't you like Flux? I know that you've been talking, you've been vocal at Flux before, but I'm still a fan, but it's we'll see where the project goes. It is taking a little bit, but did the stream just go down? I don't think so. I think we're still up. All right, let me catch up on these real quick.
We're good.
Huh?
We're good. I'm looking at the stream.
Yeah.
Well, you know what though? No, it's fine. It's fine.
But Salad AI is falling off the damn map. I never understood the salads. I mean, I understand it, right? I just don't. I never got into it, so all I saw was what was like, all the YouTubers were doing and stuff like that. But look at these fine gentlemen. What's up, Crypto Frank? But so I guess Dave. Let's start with you, Dave. How was your last week? I know we talked earlier for a little bit today.
Yeah.
You're doing a lot. So how about you jump in a little bit to? Are you going to show the photo of what you sent me, or?
What was that? Hold on. I sent you a lot of photos, Mike. So you're supposed to keep them private. You know what I mean?
I'm waiting to see Dan Keller's hundreds of 3060 mobile he supposedly purchased. Yeah, I don't know. I did hear about that Bad Ace too. I don't understand what a 3060 mobile is going to do for AI. I mean, I know you can like cluster them together and stuff like that, but just like from like an efficiency standpoint, it doesn't.
Mike, pull up the that photo with the USB cord, the orange one. That's what I gave you, right? Or no?
Yeah. Did you send it to me on Discord or did you text it to me?
Oh, I think I gave you text.
Okay.
Let me see if I can.
Because then if you send it to me on Discord, I could share it.
All right. Let's do that. It's pretty cool.
While we're waiting on that, they don't use 8 gig cards, but Dan Keller says he bought hundreds of 3060 8 gig cards. Yeah, I mean, if you can cluster them together, I guess it makes sense. I I've been dealing a lot with the AI side of stuff now, and I'm no, but by no means an expert, right? But like that, I was just at our data center for the last like 2 days, doing just random stuff, right? But Terra's really involved with like the AI stuff for now, like the AI just rentals, the AI the whole side, right? I know I showed you guys like last week, little screen grab of it, but it's I just don't. We don't really see things like that where there's people dying to get 3070s out there rented. You know what I mean? And I think not that it wouldn't like have a use case, but like your overhead for the whole machine is so much that like every spot that you have available for that, like you're not going to like not put a higher end card. You know what I mean? Unless you have like a lot of these salad rigs, a lot of these vast rigs where you have the full lane, you know what I mean? And then you could just throw one on, then it makes sense. But yeah, it's I call bullshit. Maybe. I mean, it's not real until you see it, right? That's the thing. So you never know. But I mean, they have to have something, right? Like Flux needs some kind of baseline for people that have need for compute to go onto the marketplace. Right. Like they have to have. You could just open up a marketplace and be like, okay, hey, everyone on YouTube, like come join Flux Edge and, have all your compute there without having someone on the other side to purchase the compute. But then you can't have someone on the other side to purchase the compute unless you have the people giving the compute. So I would assume that you would have to have like a baseline amount, right? I think that was kind of the idea with it. Now, if it's 3060 mobiles compared to 3080s, 3090s, 4090s, like maybe they switched it up. Maybe they just went straight to data center cards. I don't know. But we will see. I honestly have not. Last couple of weeks have been crazy. Honestly, next week is going to be crazy, but I do want to dive more into it. I have had this Flux. This is an Epic here. It was a 3rd gen Epic and 256 gigs of RAM, and this was all for proof of useful work. So, 4 Flux Edge on it. So, I don't know. It's a project. But here, let me pull up this picture Dave has.
It's pretty cool.
And here it is. Wow, look at those risers. Is this what you wanted to show, Dave?
Mm-hmm. Those light up.
Okay. Here, is it here? Let me. There we go. That's good.
So there's an LED light to show you that it's on the USB port. You see there? Those are my
Oh wait, I didn't see that originally.
Yeah. So those are my AirPods.
Oh, right here.
Yeah. There's an LED light to show that it's actually on. But so that's USB. It's just a regular USB. As you can see, there's only 2 cables on there, so you could do like 3 USBs per 6-pin. This is going to be probably for like a future project because, the little Bitcoin miners, they're not for, you need to plug them into a computer, right? So you need not just power, you also need data to transfer back and forth. So this is going to be a use case for different things. If I make a cable for USB to a barrel connector or there's a lot of things that I have going on, but this is probably going to work on something that's probably going to be developed in the future as well. I can't say what it is. I'm not developing it, but like I said, I'm working with a lot of companies, and there's going to be a lot of my cable is going to be everywhere, basically.
So could you say what's on the other end of this or no?
Those are my AirPods.
Oh, connected to it. Okay.
My AirPods are connected to that.
Well, what's the connector on that? That's not like the Lightning AirPods, right?
Regular AirPods. Yeah, Lightning.
No, but the charging port on it.
Lightning.
It's USB to what?
USB to Lightning on my AirPods.
Oh, to Lightning. Okay.
Yeah. I didn't make that. That's just a regular, that's just a USB port. So so you guys can understand what that is. Just look at a USB port in the back of your computer. That's what that is.
Okay.
It's just that it's 5 volts, though. Obviously, it's not 12 volts.
Is that what USB-C is, or like any of the other connections, or
yeah, like you could just same thing like USB-C. You could take that and just convert that to USB-C or whatever, and just like use that case. But the main thing is you're not going to be able to use, like, I'm working on the Avalon Nano, right?
Mhm.
So the Avalon Nano is USB-C,
Okay.
and I'm almost there with engineering a product. And of all videos, all these new cables, because they're so proprietary to everything that I'm doing, the BitAx and the Avalon Nano, and I'm actually going to do like another video, a teardown, and tell you guys what is the specific difference between the Casper miner, the KS0 Ultra, and the Pro. I'm a technical guy, so all of these videos are coming out. I'm just trying to do a little bit of R&D with some new cables at the same time. That's all.
Okay.
But yeah, it's just.
Can you fit more than one USB on each of these, or?
Yeah, you could do
like,
at least 3.
You can fit 3.
Well, yeah, because there's only 2 cables, so you could do 3 per 6-pin. But it depends on like what the draw is going to be. You probably could do a lot more than that. I can actually do like multiple. So it's like.
So could Retro Mike use these for his phone farms?
Yeah, I mean, I could convert everything over to USB-C.
Well, I'm saying you could just get a USB to USB-C, right? You don't need to convert it over. So like a Retro Mike could just use the cable, like the USB to USB-C, and still connect up to this.
Yeah, you would just have to, because the amount of wattage total, like all his, come up with, like that's like way overpowered. You're not going to need a 1200 watt power supply or even a 750 watt power supply. It's like it's so minimum wattage that he's going to be using.
But Retro Mike, I see you're in the chat here. What do you use? Don't you use like? Yeah, that's why I was thinking of Retro Mike when you first showed me this earlier today.
Well, I didn't tell him about this one though. I didn't tell him about this. This is a new one. This is a different case.
Okay.
But we'll talk about it off the channel and stuff like that, because I'm making some special cables.
Okay.
I'll probably show you guys tomorrow. So if you see my short tomorrow, it'll be a Retro Mike is getting a special cable done, so it's pretty
okay. Cool. Yeah, because I think from what Retro Mike, you used like the USB hubs prior, right? Like the ones where you actually like plug it into like an outlet, and it like the USB hubs that like just need more power. I mean, you guys know more than I do probably, but it has like an actual outlet, like an NEMA outlet, and then you have a bunch of them. It's not just USB
The other cable that I showed you guys last week, that's going to be really, really cool. So that cable is going to be, a lot of people will buy like 2 BitAxes at a time, man. And now you have like, you purchase 2 BitAxes at a time. I mean, now you're doing multiple outlets. It's a pain in the ass when, these little bricks that convert over there. No, I'm not saying that they're bad or good or whatever the case may be. It's a solution. I'm always going to say this, and you guys might think, well, yeah, your stuff is better or whatever. It's neither here or there. It's just a matter of just providing a solution for these things, right? They get hot or they go bad, and then you're shit out of luck, basically. So by using like a breakout board or using an ATX power supply, you're just in a better situation, because a lot of crypto miners have this stuff laying around already. They're not using it right now, right? But they're buying these things and finding outlets to plug them in when won't you just use something that you already have, right? Or maybe they have some miners, they purchase my cables for the KS0 Ultras, right? They're using breakout boards.
I mean, this is just more efficient, right?
It's like efficient all around. The reason why these cables are being made is because people want to utilize the power supplies that they already have or they're using right now actively. You want to people want to, when we're doing mining rig, right? And you want to add a card, you're not buying something different to add a card. You know what I mean? You're adding. So it's just like you have multiple ASICs, multiple use cases that you can use to use my cables. That's all. It's really cool. I mean, it's a very, very good idea. So I could use USB to barrel connector too, Mike, right, Mike? So
really?
So that's the cable for USB. Let's just say I make another cable that's just an extension cord from that USB, because you use multiple uses, right? So now I just have a small cable, very small, from USB to barrel connector.
Yeah.
Home run.
Yeah.
You need 5 volts. You need 5 volts, so the BitAx is going to go on fire, right? Or it's just going to blow up. So I have a use case for this, multiple use cases for this. I'm going to be working with another company, and you guys know them, but we're just getting all the things I need to basically get a couple of things going, and it's going to be really, really cool. So I'm working with a lot of companies, doing a lot of things, and it'll be cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's sick.
What is he saying here? What am I?
The first thing I saw was, like I said, it was Retro Mike with the phones.
Oh yeah.
Because it's always like I think it's always been a problem for those guys. Was like, how do you power all of these? I know he mentioned he uses the Anchor power bricks, but like you said, reutilizing other hardware that you have and being able to do it that way. And you could also fit like one of these and like a phone case, server case. You know what I mean? And like just be able to branch from there and stuff. So be a lot easier.
This is a million things that can happen as long as it makes sense. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm always going to say as long as it makes sense. So do some testing and everything else, and just bring these products out. Since I'm able to make these pins and everything else, and make the cables from scratch, and I've converted stuff like this in the past anyway. When we talked about the RC car racing and stuff like that. So this is my wheelhouse. So it'll be imagine that Retro Mike doing a phone shed.
Yeah.
Then he could use a 1200 watt power supply.
Yeah. Phone shed is the next thing. That's funny.
Man. How hot do those phones get, Retro Mike? I'm just curious. Like, they're on all the time. How hot do those batteries get? Curious.
Probably, a lot of it's probably like ambient temps, right? Like,
well, like on an iPhone, right? He's not using iPhones, but on an iPhone, like, if you have the stupid screen on, and then you're charging it, that shit gets hot as hell. Like it goes on fire.
3540C.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. Yeah, that's not bad at all. But they throttle at 40C. I feel like my phone has gotten so hot, but I don't know. It happens every so often. It'll just start baking, but it's always usually in ambient temps, like in the car or something. You know what I mean? Or it's in the sun.
My phone bakes when I'm using it, and it's charging on the MagSafe charger in the truck.
Yeah.
It just bakes, dude.
Yeah.
I don't know why it gets so freaking hot. I guess it's just like the iPhones don't like to be used at all while you're trying to charge them.
But well, let me put up this real quick, because no, it's been a crazy week in crypto. We're up 12%, which is nuts.
It went down. It went down.
When? Oh, what? Like
Bitcoin?
The last month? Yeah, I mean we're back up. In the 1 month.
The norm.
But yeah, it's a crazy ride. You know what I mean? Like I was surprised because after the assassination thing attempt, it kind of I saw it jump right after that, and I was like, "What is going on?" But I think it's just all been tied to all these sell-offs across the world and everything like that, kind of stopping, and demand kind of coming back with this.
Who did a big sell-off?
I think it was the German government, and then it says here Mt. Gox repayment in Bitcoin and Bitcoin Cash, but I don't think that had anything to do with that. I know Mt. Gox sold off some, but I think it was Germany was selling a lot, and then before that, I think Russia was. But a lot of sell pressure, right? But then a lot of people buying, and then the same amount of people, are buying, assuming it's like, supply and demand, right? Like if the same people are buying, or not the same people, there's the same amount of buy pressure, but not as much sell pressure, the price is going to go up,
Right.
Mike is saying Germany, 5,000 BTC. Yeah. And that's the thing is, it's like, my normal answer to that would be like, well, 5,000 Bitcoin is not a whole lot, right? It's like a couple billion or something like that. And, the market cap of Bitcoin's, 1.2 trillion. What's a couple $billion going to do? But the Bitcoin's really becoming like more scarce. There's not as much liquidity. I feel
a couple of billion is not. It's something to talk about. A little something, anyway.
Yeah, it is. But I think it shows that it has that much. That it is something to talk about, right? Because, like I said, my normal answer would be like, it's not that much, but
it's a lot, but it's not that much compared. But it didn't hurt the situation.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Like it. I mean, dumping 5,000 Bitcoin on the market will definitely lower it, but it's also, I think that like I said, that's just because there's not as much liquidity in the market. There's not as much Bitcoin that's available. A lot of people are kind of buying and holding, but yeah, it seems like alts also had a little bit of a. Sorry, let me just check this one thing real quick. Seems like alts have kind of come up too. We'll put a flux. I know Bad Ace likes it. But they've been kind of steady too. I don't know. It's good that there's a little bit of a rally here. I think it shows. We kind of hit like a little support line, which we haven't. It felt like we haven't had that in about a month. It felt like we were just kind of all over the place. But we are down 2% on the month. But that's okay. It's holding strong. I'm honestly surprised it's been at these levels. I thought it was going to kind of crash a little bit down a little bit more before. I think December is when it's November, December.
So far,
that yeah. But what's up, Gene? What's going on? Yeah, we were late too. Don't worry about it. But we're always a little bit late. We've been late the last 2 weeks, I think, Dave. Right?
I was really late. My computer likes to just take a crap every time I'm hosting. So
yeah. Mr. Retro Mike, are you guys going to the Flux event in Nashville? I think so, yes. Well, yeah, we'll definitely be there. I just don't know for how long. We're doing the Litecoin thing earlier in the day. I think we get in around like noon. So we'll probably try to like check in early at the hotel, drop all of our crap off, go to the Litecoin thing for a little bit, and then head over to the Flux thing. Because the Flux thing's like all day, right? Like it's at night too. I think it's at a or something they rented out. So yeah, we're gonna be going to that. And then the next day is BTC, the big day. So I think we have to be there pretty early to set up the booth and stuff like that. So we're not going to be like out late or anything like that. But come find me at the Litecoin Summit. Yeah, we will. It's going to be a smaller group, I think. So we'll be there. But I'm looking forward to it. It's crazy that it's next week already. The nighttime is Flux VIP only, 7 to 10, I think. But they have a what's it called? There's different tickets for Flux. What? The Flux what's it called? Cypherpunk? Flux Cypherpunk. I didn't realize there were different tickets. We'll just try to sneak in.
What is like VIP tickets or something?
Yeah, VIP meeting. Let's see, 6 days. Here, let me switch over this real quick.
There's a certain amount of tickets, though. I think too, Mike.
Huh?
No? Yes. Maybe.
For Cypherpunk?
I think so.
Oh, public and VIP, 12 to 7, and then 7 from 10 VIP only. What's the? Oh, is VIP like if you actually buy a ticket? Huh. I don't know. We'll sneak in. Crypto Frank, don't forget you get a free ticket to Karate Combat with the BTC ticket. Yeah, I think we're going to this too. That'll be fun.
Where's that at?
That's that? I think it's like a fight or something. I don't know. It's in Nashville.
Active? Oh,
yeah.
It's happening there too.
Yeah.
Oh shit. That's fun.
Nighttime is invite only, I believe, for you big influencers. Yeah, I did read something about it, but I'm sure you got to come to that too, Retro Mike. I'm sure it'll be open. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of these places will say like, oh, it's only VIPs or something, but it's we're all VIPs there.
Everybody's a VIP. You're a VIP. I'm a VIP.
Pretty sure there'll be plenty of other bars that will be more nightlife than Flux. Yeah, there'll be so. I mean, you're on Broadway. You know what I mean? It's there's a lot to be going, but I'm definitely going to stop by the Flux thing for a while. Again, like we're going to just try to hit like all the dots. You know what I mean? It's but Martin, KSO Ultra. I can't get my fans to auto mode suggestions. Thank you. I do not have a KSO Ultra, Martin, but Dave, do you have one? Yeah.
It's just supposed to just work on auto mode. There's no setting unless you have to find out the temperature. Is it hot where it's at? It takes a little minute and then it'll start to work.
Yeah.
You know what though, on the ultras, I'm not sure how yours is, but I would say just set it at like 30% and see how it goes. Those ultras are very, very finicky. When I mean finicky, it's just like I'm doing testing right now with the ultras, just so I could do a video. That's all. But I'm doing testing right now, and it's like those things, they want to be warm. It's like totally opposite of like the KS0, the KS0 Pro. Like you got to throw a fan on it because you get hot and shit. But these ultras want to be at like a certain temp, and everyone's different. It's all silicon battery, right? And it's just like from my experience. Now I don't know. Maybe people have ultras and they just plug it in, they're good to go. But I purposely tested it on the 19 volts and then my 12 volt cable, just to see if there was any difference of like how it would react, and it doesn't react any differently at all. It's just like it wants to be warmer than usual. It's weird. Yeah. So like when Panda has that, got the frying pan on top of the ultra and the egg. Yeah, it needs to be hot. It's crazy.
Yusuf Veteran, what's up,
What's
bro?
up, Yusuf? How you doing?
Scott Sheffield, what's up, man? Litecoin Summit sounds like the place to be. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it too. I know it's just like it's a day. Is it a 2-day thing, or I think it's just a 1-day thing before.
I think it's a 1-day thing.
Yeah. Mr. Max Voltage, online poker tourney this Saturday for Bitcoin conference ticket holders. I got plans this weekend, or else I would do that. But
online poker tourney this Saturday.
Yeah, I guess if I have like a unique ticket with or like an entry, I'll give it to Dave though, so that he can go in and talk shit to everyone. He loves poker.
Oh, dude, I'll go in as GPURisers. They'll be like, man, this.
Oh yeah, you should. Yeah.
Oh, dude,
actually, it'd be Terra, but yeah. But
that's funny.
2-day event. Oh, it's 2 full days. Oh, really? Okay.
Oh.
Well, I'll be there on the tail end of it. But Litecoin maxis. Yeah, I mean, it's I don't know. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so happy it's in Nashville. Like, I didn't get to go to the Miami one, Disrupt. I really wanted to go. Had to do some Terra stuff, but I am happy that this is in Nashville. Like, I can only do Miami once every 5 years, I feel, or it gets it's a little too much. But
yeah, I mean, I almost died in the hotel. So
I heard that they might not be doing it there next year. So
I mean,
I gotta connect this mouse.
I'll tell you right now, I'll never go to that hotel ever again. And neither were any of our friends that we currently know. So that's for
I heard it was not great.
Air quality was horrible.
Yeah, Mr. Hawk Crypto Mining, they're moving it. Yeah,
good.
Well, that's good. Yeah, because I did hear I did not like it the first year. I mean, the convention hall is nice.
The convention hall is fine.
Yeah. But when you're walking to the convention hall, like, I feel like if you came in from out back, you know what I mean? Like, where they had like the immersion tanks and stuff like that. Like, if you came in from that way, then it'd be fine. But when you're walking through that money laundering mall, I saw photos. I think it was bad. Like, the mold and stuff like that. It did not look great. Yeah. So
all of us have at least one black lung right now from the shit.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while for us to, I mean, think about it, dude. How can it be a coincidence when people are getting sick, dude, from fucking mining Disrupt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, that's the thing is, it's like, because the people that run Disrupt,
home stuffy, dude. Like, I'm like, and it's just like, it's fucking bad, dude. It's just like it takes me like a good week for like my sinuses to clear up and shit. And it's not because being in Miami and hot and shit like that. It's not that. It's just like it's hot as shit over here in North Carolina. It's just like you just get to stuffy and just like, this. Well, hopefully next year will be good. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. I think that if they change venues, I mean, that venue has to be cheap, right? That's why I assume the guys running the show there are probably like trying to make as much money as they can possible. So it's like this it'll work, you know what I mean?
Right.
But they also have to appease the people that are, not just paying the money, but paying for the booths and stuff like that, like and sending crews there and stuff. Like, you don't want it to be in a nasty place. So it's good to hear that they're changing it up. So KSOs make 8 casts a day. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, the emissions are pretty rough on it. Crypto Frank, I hate taking any of my cars to Miami. Why? You don't like them all scratched up and banged up and drivers swerving into you?
I wouldn't want to drive. The way they drive, dude, the way they drive over there, I would not want to take any of my cars.
I heard that. I saw that. Read online the coastal guys got banged up on the way there or something. I hope they're doing well.
Bro,
it's rough.
Not me, man.
But I make 9 or 10. I make over 100 with my GPUs. Nice. Did you wash your hands? They canceled it. The inks aren't working, or the links aren't working in the section, and the menu is no longer there on the Bitcoin conference page. Well, I guess that's for the mining thing.
Was he talking about the poker thing?
Poker thing. Yeah, I think the poker thing. But what's up, mining in the north?
Because they heard that I was gonna play. Like, fuck this, cancel it.
I saw a GG mining interview, Greater Good mining interview. He said his ASIC was making 18,800 a day in Caspa. Yep. I met Greater Good mining in Cypherpunk, I think, last year. That was the first time I saw him. Really cool guy. I definitely want to get to know him more. Very genuine, nice guy. I really do like him. But yeah, he got into Caspa super early. I saw a part of that interview with your friend Andy, your friendly Andy, or I can't remember the exact name, but yeah, he got in super early, and I know he's has a lot of these ASICs too, and he's really he's bet on it, and he made a good bet. You know what I mean? Like when I saw Caspa first started popping up and people were mining with GPUs, I was kind of just pessimistic about it, right? I was like, this is just another coin that's going to come and go. But I mean, it really took off. I really wish I at least threw a little bit of hash towards it. Well,
it was like that big it was a lot of risk, right? So if you got that first miner that came out, we're not talking about the mini miners, like the big one, right? When it first came out, when Panda had it, and the amount of money Panda was making day in, day out, right?
Yeah.
We're like, is this thing gonna ship? Is this shit true? Because Panda even know, right? Is he the only one that actually has something that works? Are people gonna get something from Ice River? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And the people that took that chance, they got their money back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But then after that, I mean, yeah, man, you only have such a certain window to do all these things when it comes to this kind of stuff, especially with the ASIC miners.
Yeah.
That's that's what I feel. It's not Bitcoin, right? Bitcoin is a different animal. Like the altcoins and everything else, I think you have a certain time. Now, if this thing starts to go up, dude, you know how much these miners are going to be worth?
Yeah, and they also, I mean, Mike would probably know this better, but from my understanding, they also make these in like smaller batches. Like they're not like S21s that are being pumped out. You know what I mean? So like, yeah, there's a lot of network, hash building up, but it's not. Actually, I think what was it? Not Riot. I think it might have been Marathon. Invested a good amount into Caspa. That's the one thing I did learn about it, right? Like I was definitely a Caspa bear when it first came out. I think a lot of people hopped on because it was efficient and it was like low power usage, and it was like, well, I only have to spend this much this month and I'll mine this coin and everything like that. But the one thing I did learn from all of it is definitely don't like bet against the ASIC game. You know what I mean? Because these ASIC manufacturers, Bitmain, Ice River, Wind Dragon, whatever is next, like the amount of money that goes into this to get to build one of these, and just the R&D that goes into all of it and pump these out, like, is a lot more money than what it costs to pump a market for the coin, in my opinion. Especially once
they're not making
there.
these fucking things to lose money. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And the only way that they can make money on the ASIC is if the ASIC is profitable, right?
Right.
So that's the one thing I never thought about prior to Caspa, right? Because I've seen some like Dash miners come in the market, like the D9, I think it was the D9 or whatever that was, and a lot of people ate it on a lot of ASICs. So like that's where kind of like my view came in from. I'm like, oh well, you know, now Bitmain's doing it again because Bitcoin miners aren't as profitable. They're just going to release these other miners and make a quick buck and have like unrealistic returns. And I mean, I still think the returns are like a little unrealistic, and it should cause some hesitancy when purchasing these. But yeah, the one thing I did learn is like, and I never thought about was, yeah, if the ASIC manufacturers are making these, they will pump the price to make sure that it stays profitable. You know what I mean? Like that's just how they're going to do it. So, you know, and then once it gets, and that's another thing, right? Because it's kind of like an avalanche, not an avalanche, a snowball effect, right? I don't know why I said avalanche. I'm a little tired today, but once the price goes up, right? You're like, oh, the devs and the people, you know, who did pre-mine or whatever it is, they flush a lot of money out of it. But in some instances with projects, it gives them capital, right? Like, yeah, they made a shit ton of money and they're going to take it out and, you know, do what they want. But a lot of them will put money back into the development of the project and continue it going and have the capital to hire developers to do it that aren't just doing it as like a foundation, right? Like ETH was. And I mean, I know the developers made some money, but a lot of money. But it gives the project capital. So long story short, yeah, just I learned from that just not to bet against these ASIC manufacturers. And if you're gonna do it, then get in sooner rather than later, right? But that's always like so scary because you're like, you see, you know, these charts, right? Like, oh, this ASIC makes 150 a day and it's, you know, 15 grand, or I think they were more than that. And you know it's going to go down, right? But at the other end of it, you know that these ASIC manufacturers have a ton more on the way and they've invested a ton of money in this. So it's also like a timing thing, right? Like, you know, you not only do you want to buy the ASIC, but you also don't want to be, in my opinion, this is how I would approach it, right? Not financial advice. This is to probably lose money on this idea, but you'd buy the Caspa ASIC when it comes out, but also don't sell it. You know, don't sell any Caspa that you're mining to pay the ASIC off. Like, you're not trying to ROI right on it. You're just holding the coin, right? Until you get to a comfortable point, and that point's going to be different for everyone, right? Everyone's comfortable point's different, but definitely buy and hold type thing for the. Sorry, I'm just trying to catch up on these.
I mean,
There's also a client critical. Yep.
I dabbled into the ASICs in the beginning too, but like GPU mining was profitable, and I was just very, very focused on the GPU miners. Then I started making cables for the ASIC miners, right? Because it was use case for that. It's just like now there's so many use cases right now, all different types of cables and wires I never even thought of making, right? Because just what's out there now. So it's just like I'm just, you know, going USB. When did I never thought that I was ever going to make a freaking USB-C cable. Let's be honest, Mike. Number one, they're small as shit. Number two, they're really, really hard to make, you know?
Yeah.
But it's just like, these are just so many things that I've ventured out into for these ASIC miners or these lottery miners. You have lottery miners, then you have ASIC miners, and you have mini ASICs. There's so many things out there now that I could dabble into myself as a crypto miner and, you know, for fun or hobby-ish, that type of, right? Like the lottery miner, like, you don't buy those to know that, oh my God, I'm going to hit it big. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you guys are doing that and you have that thought process, I don't know what to tell you. You know what I mean? But it's just like, they're really cool. I love the idea behind it. Who doesn't? Yeah. A really cool idea behind it. Yeah. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I can't even gauge like the way the company's going of like what I'm going to be making. Basically, I'm just like staying above water, like just thinking about what's the new thing, what new things are coming out, and does it make sense for me to make it? I'm not going to make a cable on every single freaking thing that comes out there, right? Because I mean, I mean, for the most part, if there's 6 pins or whatever, and now you have the new Doge miner that basically plugs into an outlet now, 110, 140 or something like that. So it's just like there's no use case for my cable for that, right?
Yeah.
Because now they're embedding everything all in one. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, just like, we'll see how it goes. But I'm really excited about what's going on right now. At least we're able to dabble into different things if you want to, right? It's not like everything is completely dead and you're not doing shit. That's what I like about this, about crypto,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Time will tell.
Yeah. Let me ask you a question, Dave. I'm interested. Do you think that the Caspa would have gotten the adoption that it did if it didn't have the route it did, right? Because I think, and I'll just explain that real quick, because I think that was like there should be like a study done on how they did this, right? Because I think that it hit every marker the right way. It started with GPUs during a bear market with GPUs, which it kind of still is, but it offered an efficient algorithm to secure their network to GPU miners, right? So right away it was attractive, right? Even if because everything else was unprofitable, and even if it was unprofitable at the time, it was just spec mining. It was the time to do it when other things weren't as profitable. And then all of a sudden you hear about ASICs and everything like that. And not only do they do like big boy ASICs, but they go like down the whole line. And I think that was like a big thing for at least for me, looking at it from like a consumer, right? An adoption thing is they didn't just release a 3,500 watt ASIC, right? They released a 3,500 watt one. They released like a 2,000 watt one, and then I think they have like a KS1 900 watt or 1,200, something like that. It's a small ASIC. And then the biggest thing, like that you are very familiar with, are like the barrel plug ones, like the KSO Ultra Super Plus. So do you think it would have gotten the adoption that it did if it didn't go that route?
I don't think so, because I think that the mini box miners what pushed a lot and pushed all this to think about all the videos and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, I think the mini you only have a handful of people that are going to buy those big ones, right? Bitmain sells more of these miners than, I'm not talking about the mini box miners. Bitmain sells more than Ice River.
Yeah, a lot more. Yeah.
So I don't know that. I just know that maybe it got out more with the mini box miners, though. So adoption by small case, because you have the large farms, large people. They're not talking about shit. They're just like, yep, you know what? We'll just take the chance. Probably, who knows if they took the chance before even Red Panda got his first one, right?
Yeah.
Who knows if you know what? I want 30 of them. I want 40 of them. So you never know.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
who knows?
Yeah, I think that the adoption that it had was fueled by all of that. You know what I mean? Like, I really do like. I never bought anything Caspa. No Caspa ASICs, no KSOs. No, I've been around a lot of them. I never got into it. And then by the time I never GPU mined it, or anything like that. But it was interesting. They hit like every target market in a very short period of time, right? Like, if maybe it was longer, but it feels like it was like no time between like very, like an attractive coin to mine on GPUs to ASICs right away. You know what I mean?
Right.
And like I said, if you want to have a Caspa ASIC right here, you can get one, plug and play the KSO. Or if you want to have a 900 watt one, you still could plug it in right here. Or if you wanted to bump it up a little bit, KS2, put it in your garage or something, and on a 240 volt, or of course the KS3s and stuff like that. So it's it's interesting. Like I said, I think other projects that have really are aspiring to get that, because I know a lot of projects like they want to go the ASIC route because they know it's going to help with price. There's going to be price discovery. It's going to be attractive. So like in network security, you know what I mean? I understand their argument for it. I mean, I'm not agreeing with everything, but I understand where they're coming from with it. And it was just interesting seeing Caspa do it.
It's not looking bad.
Yeah.
All I'm saying. So what's Crypto Frank saying? L3++ for life?
Yeah.
Crypto
Yeah,
Frank
the
will buy mine.
Litecoin miners. Yeah, the script miners, man. The L7s are still doing great. You know, we have a client that has a good amount of L7s, and I mean, those things are rock solid.
I'm actually gonna. I was gonna put one on. I was just gonna put it on. I think on my electricity though, it's like I think it loses about 30 cents.
Yeah.
Maybe it's $1 right now.
Oh,
But I mean, how long has the L3++ been out, dude? And I bet that if it goes up, that thing will be profitable. It's just crazy, dude. You know?
Yeah. Nismo Miner saying going to dump some 4090s back to the market. Yeah, I mean the 4090 market has kind of become a little bit saturated, but I do still. I'm a big believer in the 4090s. I think that for longevity purposes. But
I might get one day when they go down in price. I'll probably get a 4090 when the 5 series comes out. You know, 5090 comes out. I'll get a 4090. You know.
Yeah, Yusuf, why are you not at the RNC? You know, I wasn't there. Mike's live tweeting from the RNC right now behind the curtains.
Nice.
Crypto Frank L3++. When did those come out? Those came out a long time ago.
Holy crap, yeah.
Let me look it up, actually. The L3 script miner release date. When did this come out? June 2017. Here, let me share this real quick. Six months, yeah.
It's profitability on that.
They're losing about $1.50 a day.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. It's like $1 something.
Yeah. I remember, when was this again? This was June 2017. I'm trying to remember what.
The original Doge miner, I think, is like loses like 30 cents. No, is it more?
Yeah.
I don't know. The original Doge miner.
June 22nd. Here, let me switch. There we go. Actually, let me go to the LTC market. Oh man, yeah. Imagine if you bought it right here in June. Yeah, I mean, you would have. If you were buying and selling during this period, I mean, you would have ROI'd so quick during that period.
Yeah, but how much are those things going for, dude? Brand new.
I don't think a lot, even. I don't know what the release price was. No, it doesn't say in here.
I know at one
someone
point.
In the chat probably knows.
I don't like at least $2,000 used.
Yeah.
At one point.
Yeah, I remember like
a while ago.
Yeah, I bought an S9. I think right around that time. I want to say is when I bought like my first Bitcoin ASIC. But I don't when I bought that, I don't, or me and my buddy, we were kind of splitting everything at the time, but I don't remember seeing an L3 at the time. But this was also like when it was just Litecoin, right? Like I know a lot of the profitability comes from Dogecoin and stuff like that now. So it's it is about how much I'll buy them. Yeah. Hey, I mean, the deal's a deal. I'm still really happy with my 4090s. They're slowly paying themselves off. You know what I mean? I'm not moving them around or anything like that, but they're going. What was this? Remind me to tell you a story of how much I made off a FutureBit Moonlander 2 last bull run going into the bear. That only had 3 to 5 mega hash. I made mad Bitcoin swapping out of altcoins. Yeah, that's the thing is like it's always important to take profits, right? Like you don't want to ride the ship all the way up and then all the way back down. Like that's like a big thing. I'm a huge proponent of that. You know what I mean? Like I always I always know when to kind of pull out some, but I don't always make as much as everyone else, right? Like I'm not as aggressive with it, but I always like to kind of at least pay everything off and then kind of play with the house money, right? And not buy anything on credit or anything.
At the end of the day, Mike, you know?
Huh?
Everybody has their own threshold. You know?
Exactly. Yeah, I know we've talked a lot about that with like investment and stuff like
Yeah.
that. It's everyone's situation is so unique and so different. Yusuf says I ROI 140.90 in 6 months. That's crazy. It's not unheard of, but that is crazy. I wonder, Yusuf, what do you? You definitely have to be doing AI with that, I would assume. The key with alts is that people put up orders during the bull run and forget about them going into the bear. You can bulk fill these orders and stack mad Bitcoin just because people forget. Yeah, that is crazy, right? Like you said, all these like limit orders and like stop loss. Like I guess it would be if you were selling, people put up orders during the bull run and forget about them going into the bear. Oh, you're saying like they'll put a buy order thinking it's going to crash down to this, and then it already is past that, and it just like stays. Yeah. GPURisers price have been hit. Yeah. Listen to your own advice, GPURisers. Yeah, I mean, it's I am pretty conservative, I would have to say, with investment. I mean, I definitely know when to pull money off. I am still stacking flux. I do. That's my one thing, right, that I have now. But the 4090s, I would have to say, have been probably my best investment so far in the past like 6 months, rather than just well, no, yeah, that would be I like to invest in equipment because you can depreciate equipment, right? You can offset other income with it. I know some people make money just from
aspect.
Yeah, which is still
business,
like yeah, when you net income, you're like at the end of the year and stuff like that, like you have to take into account tax savings and stuff like that. So the 4090s have been doing real well. I am happy with it. So I try to listen to my own advice majority of the time, but if I was more aggressive with investing, definitely since 2016, I would have more flux. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, it's he does. He never does. I listen, Mike. What are you talking about? I try to give you advice too, Mike. But everyone has a kryptonite flux as yours. Yeah, I mean, like, listen, like, I'm a fan of the project, right, and everything like that. I don't know where I would put. Like, I don't want to cash it out right now, and that's like my biggest thing, right? Like, I want to keep it in crypto. And I don't want to play a game of like, oh, this coin's up 10% today, this one's down 10%. Like, I just kind of want to like sit and hold. And I like the people that run the project, right? But I could just put it into Bitcoin. But again, that's like, these I've had flux for a while, and
a long time. Not a while.
Yeah, and I know 99% of the crypto community doesn't pay taxes, but like when you convert a coin, it's like a taxable event, right? So like if I were to convert my flux over to Bitcoin or something, then it's a taxable event. Then I have a gain between my flux that I have and Bitcoin. So then it's like, okay, then I'm going to owe tax on it, right? And I can't just like buy a different coin on Coinbase or Kraken or crypto.com or whatever and use that to offset it like I can with equipment, right? Like that's always been my thing. And I mean, it's not even like advice. It's just, it is just,
it is what it is.
It's how taxes work. You know what I mean? Like if I were to sell my flux, it's not going to be for like a coin that's like, oh, I hope this is going to go up. You know what I mean? Or whatever. It's going to be for equipment, right? Because then I'll instantly capture a gain that year, and then I can instantly write off any equipment that I'm buying from that gain. You know what I mean? Not exactly like that. Actually, yeah, kind of exactly like that. But if you have 10 grand worth of flux, if I sell that $10,000, then I immediately want to go buy 10 grand worth of graphics cards, right? Because I do not want to realize that gain right away. Unless you just want to pull it all off the table, right? And take the poker chips off and pay the tax. But it's, yeah, when you're just kind of sitting there, it's like, I don't know what to do. I am going to probably take some off the table. This year. Yeah. But not all, right? Like I said, I know I keep repeating it, but it has to be, you have to have like, there has to be two good points. It has to be a good price that you want to sell it at, that you're happy with, but there also has to be an opportunity, so it'll fluctuate, right? Like if I say, oh, I'm going to sell half when Flux hits $1. It's like, okay, well, if
it's long-term.
if project ABC starts making 20% more than what it is now, and that's what I would be buying into if I sold my Flux, then maybe my sell point for Flux is 90 cents. You know what I mean? Like, so there's so many variables at play with it where it's like, let me just park it for now until something happens. Because I also don't like having too much exposure in any one thing, right? So I like the 4090 stuff and like the AI stuff, and it does well, but I don't want to like put all my eggs in one basket, right? So I wish I could find something else to kind of do it, but there's not really a whole lot right now. So
Right.
It's price of bananas. Like, I'll bring it up here in a second.
Something's coming up right soon.
Yeah,
hopefully sooner than later with Flux. So that's what we've all been waiting for.
Yeah.
Right. They're in the alpha phase still, right?
I think it might be moved to beta.
No shit.
Yeah.
Really?
Let's see.
Yeah, but I mean,
retro mic, 100% hash rate on a few networks. Pay off or I'll just burn power. Yeah, I mean, I think spec mining is cool. Like I want to get back. That's what this machine is supposed to be, right? Like, well, it's supposed to be a Flux machine, and then it's supposed to have multiple uses. I'm actually supposed to have like 3 of these by now. I just haven't had the time. But I think what I'm going to do with spec mining, just purely because I don't have like the time to deal with this right now, is I just want to get like a couple ASICs at some point, like Bitcoin ASICs or L7s or like something like that, and just do unminable and then stack a bunch of different coins and stuff like that. Like real oddball stuff. Like you said, burning the power, you know what I mean? Like, again, your power, you know, like if you're hosting a Terra, your power bill, if you're running this as a business and not just a hobby, it's a tax deduction, right? Yeah. So, you know, if you have like a regular W-2 job or something or other income that you're paying tax on, and you might not be like, you're of course going into it wanting to make money from it, but if you end up not and you're burning power for, you know, a year and losing some money on it, at least it's a tax deduction, right? If you're running it as a business. So
that's true. Depends what tax bracket you're into.
Yeah,
you could lower your tax.
I'll get the bananas up here soon. Like, no one wants to see the banana chart. It's very disheartening. Hodl Flux. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. It's you know, I see here Flux is long term. Yeah, I think so too. But like I said, I do want to lower my exposure just because I'm very conservative with stuff. Like I do not put all my eggs in one basket by any means. So, but I chase top paying coins selling every day, then swap into Caspa. Got like 2K into Caspa now with just mine. Nice. Crypto Frank, I can't say much. I'm still holding CKB for over 3 years. Yeah, but I mean, what was it? You can use the FIFO method, right? Is that was it? First in, first out, I think, with crypto. So like if you have a bag of crypto or something like that, and it's, you know, it's like stocks, right? Like you're not selling the stock that you most recently, or I'll use it for coins, for example, but you're not selling the coin that you most recently mined. You're selling the coin from over a year ago to get the long-term cap gains. So it's got all my gains from Flux right now are long-term. Like I've been holding it for a long time. And so I just want to.
It's not Flux was going to be a long-term thing, in my opinion.
Yeah, you know, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not trying to wait like a year just to hit the long-term capital gain rate. Right. Like I said, I'm just waiting until there's something to invest it in, so that I can also take advantage of that, and not that I'm not paying gains. I'm deferring my gains into the next project, right?
That's true.
But. Bad Ace. Well, tell Jeff Key to actually rent my 3090s on Flux for. Yeah, that's always going to be their biggest issue. I mean, we don't have to go on a whole Flux rant here, but like, it's going to be finding people to use their platform, and that's why since day one with Flux, like I don't care about, you know, this network security, that, like I'm looking at it just as a product, right? Like you have to have people buying, and you have to advertise to those people. And you have to have people coming to your market to purchase, right? So, is it going to be easy?
From my understanding, Mike, just to touch on what you're saying, I think that like Flux itself as a company, right? Because they're a company. I think they're doing their due diligence to set this up on a large scale for us to facilitate the work. in my opinion. This is what I get.
Yeah.
We gotta get Jeff Key on there, but this is like a good question, right? But this is my take on like how they mention X-rays or this use case that Flux is going to be able to provide, right? Hospitals or whatever the case may be, right?
Yeah.
Why are they mentioning all this stuff if they're not already lining all this up to make sure that it's secure and they can do it?
Yeah.
With basically people like us.
Yeah.
So I think this is building the we're going to be the backbone that I'm sure is going to be profitable. But it's just that they need to line the customer up for everybody else, and then everybody will come because they're good when it comes to marketing, in my opinion.
Yeah, their marketing team is fantastic.
They were like rah rah rah, and basically everybody got excited. But then at the same time, people are kind of getting let down at the same time too, right? Because we all got this, the Flux convention and everything else, and Cypherpunk, and then like they're having it over at the BTC convention now too, because now they have a little bit more. But like, just there's a lot of crypto miners that want to get it, that want to be a part of this, right?
Yeah,
want to make some money, but right now the marketing is not there right now.
Yeah,
because they're not ready.
And, it's you're right, like the integrations and stuff, because I've heard a lot of stuff from them, and I don't know again what is they've posted. I don't know where I read it, right? So I don't want to say too much, but like they it needs, like, you can't just build a marketplace and have people come to it,
right?
You know what I mean? Like if I made a website that was called Vast AI 2, like I can't just make the website and have the same thing and have people come to it. What Flux does have going for it, which is, I mean, they have a lot going for it. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, I am a fan of the project, big fan of the team. Like I'm a big fan of the team more than I am the project, but the team I like a lot. But you're able to mine and then have it switch when there's a project that comes in that'll be more profitable, and that'll pay you out in Flux, right? So that's huge to me. Like that's a huge thing that all these other marketplaces are missing. I have a rig now on Vast that's unrented. I wish it was mining. You know what I mean? So it's that's a huge thing. The problem is getting people to change over to it. It needs to be stable enough. You know what I mean? Especially, people that are investing money in the AI side. I mean, like I said before, like the overhead per card doesn't make sense that you would get anything lower than $800 per card. It just, in my opinion, it does. And I could bore everyone with my spreadsheets, but like I have everything I do has like spreadsheets with it, returns, how much I've made so far, and I've won some, I've lost some. Right, the AI stuff is a good one so far for me, but it's I don't know where I was going with that, but I think that they fixed that problem in the market with the AI rental. But that's where I was going with the thing is that, like, I think someone asked before or here I'll just jump forward real quick. What are the specs on your machine for proof of useful work? I don't have, this is supposed to be the proof of useful work machine, which it can't see in the camera, but it's a single epic. I think it has 48 core. Yeah, 96 thread. Yeah, 48 cores.
Yeah.
256 gigs of RAM. And it's a pretty good epic. Like it's a super micro board and everything like that. It originally housed two 4090s. I've recently moved, not recently, actually it's been months. I moved those over. So I currently have a good amount of 4090s. I have different setups. Some are 2-card rigs and some are 8-card rigs. Some are 4-card rigs. It kind of depends, right? Like I for instance, like I'm not going to move over an 8-card rig to Flux Core right now unless there's demand, because I'm constantly fighting depreciation. You know what I mean? This is not like a 3070 that I bought 3 years ago and I was mining ETH with it, and then I was mining this with it, and I've already ROI'd on it, and I'm just kind of like having fun with it, right? Like when I invested all of this, I kind of went into it with a, like I need to get my investment back. How am I going to get my investment back? What is most profitable? and that's how it's going to go, right? It's not like the unminable thing that I mentioned before, where it's like I'm going to buy an ASIC, throw it on unminable, it'll spit out some other coins and projects that I'm interested in, but I don't have to deal with overclocks or GPU mining or anything like that at this point, just because I don't have time to do it. But it's like I need a return on it. So can Flux Core do that for suppliers at this point? I don't know. I did hear a couple things from Flux, or Flux Edge, I guess you could call it, but if they have integrations, right? Like if they were easily integrated with, like, let's just use like Hive OS as an example, right?
Right.
Like if you could go on Hive OS and just like flick a button on Hive OS and be like, okay, like I want to put my R8 or whatever X8 onto proof of useful work and just have it switch over, then all of a sudden they would have a lot of demand, right? But then, or a lot of supply, I'm sorry. But then they also need the demand side. So they have two things to tackle, and it's hard. It's difficult. But overall, I think their product it's good. It just because it's a good product, though, does not mean it'll be successful. You know what I mean? It has to endure the markets, and it has to make sense, and it has to have, I always keep saying it, but a use case. Like it has to have a use case. Any coin or any project that does not have a use case is useless. You know what I mean? So it's if it's just a better mousetrap. Sometimes better mousetraps are good. You know what I mean? But they definitely need both sides there. So it's a lot. My 401k is pretty concentrated. I'm not diversified. I'm up 24% year to date. Yeah. I actually I kind of did something pretty similar with a 401k that I had too. It was super diversified, and then I turned it to not diversified, and I did all right. That would be considered two taxable events, and depending on how you do your taxes, might cost you more overall. Yeah, that's something a lot, and I've tried to make a couple of videos about this and explain it the best I can, but it's a lot of things come down to like taxes at the end of the year, right? Like how much do you owe? How much have you already paid in if you have other sources of income? And a lot of it comes down to that. It's not just like looking at this one single transaction. I bought this and I sold it for this, right? Like there's a lot more that goes into actually what you net at the end of the year, depending, and this is entirely on your own situation. But I've been self-employed for years now. And so I'm not paying, quarterly tax payments and stuff like that. Of course, you're paying an estimated amounts that you might owe and stuff like that. But you're always trying to, in my opinion, kind of like reinvest back into your business, right? Grow your business and not realize all the income on your taxes. And it's good. It grows your business and also gives you the deductions and everything like that. So a lot of people don't understand the tax side of this. And the reason people don't understand the tax side of this is I just honestly, like, it's hard for the IRS to crack down on any of this stuff, right? Like they kind of have to just at this point, I think, just trust you, right? Like, are you going to report this? Are you going to keep records of your Flux transactions that you swapped? You know what I mean? And into this, and that's why it's important also to keep records of it. Like I mentioned prior, like my Flux I've been holding for X amount of time, right? And so for that to be considered long term, it's not like E-Trade. I think E-Trade was bought by, who were they bought by? I can't remember. But let's just say I use Schwab. So let's just say Schwab. Like if you're buying and selling all this shit on Schwab, no matter what you're doing, you're going to get 1099 at the end of the year. With crypto, you don't, right? Some of these exchanges will give you it, you know what I mean? But with stuff like Flux and swapping and stuff, you have to keep records of this stuff because the IRS is like, hey, you reported this. If they ever do, you know what I mean? Hey, you reported this. You're gonna have to show proof of all this stuff. Right. You know what I mean? And but yeah, taxes, it's nothing. No KYC is great. Yeah, I mean, I feel like I know.
Choose your words wisely, Mike.
Yeah, I mean.
No comment. I'm helping my buddy out right now. No comment at the moment.
Well, I'm just saying it's important. Make sure you guys keep records, right? Because
you need to keep records.
The government knows that people are not reporting correctly, right? And so like you don't want to be caught up. Yeah, you do not want to be caught up in that. You want to make sure you're doing what you're supposed to be doing. So, but GPURisers AI meme coin, yeah. Mr. Bad Ace, Fast AI is very profitable with me. Yeah, I can't complain. The only platform I use is Fast AI. You know, I know that there's times where Salad might be, you know, more profitable, or this might be more profitable, or that. But again, like, you know, before these things are ever built, I have like sheets on like different scenarios on how,
whatever
you know,
works for you at the end of the day, man. That's all.
And I'm happy with the returns on it, right? I think that's a big thing too. Is like, okay, is a like 14-month ROI good? In my opinion, yeah, that's great. You know, it's not as aggressive and it's not as much as some people have made, you know, investing it in coins and stuff like that. But like I said, for me, it's a big thing. Like, you can't just at the end of the year go buy 40 grand worth of Caspa and write it off, right? Like, that's not how it works. But if you bought 40 grand worth of graphics cards, you could. So again, it's very unique to each person. That's what it is. But Hawk Tua Crypto Mining, what is going on? Love the name. Curious, what is your barrel cable rated for the KSO Ultra, etc.? Just standard watch.
What is your barrel cable rated for, Mike? I'm curious. Everybody likes to know.
I think it's about 700 watts. I'm just kidding. I don't know what it is. Hawk to it. This is the first time I've seen you in the chat. It's nice to see you, man. But Dave, the veteran miner, he's the one that makes all the cables.
Do I?
Yeah. It's so he'll be able to answer your question a little bit better.
Hey, what happened to our names underneath? Our names are gone.
I think it's when like the screen is up.
No, look at that.
Oh, it's when. Oh, there it is. Okay.
I like my name. That's all.
Oh, it's still there. Okay, yeah.
It's gone again.
It's there.
No. Okay. So all right. Hawk Tua Crypto Mining. Nice to meet you. So they're rated for factory settings. So we'll just put it that way. Because when I say a rating, people are gonna hold that to me, right? So this is the thing. And then I'm just gonna give a little bit of info about how these I know who you are, Yusuf. Yeah, I know you too, Yusuf. So KS Zeros, Pros, Ultras, they're all going to pull a little bit more wattage than other ones. No, you know, silicon lattery, right? The thing is that the Ultra is pulling more watts, or it's almost the same as a Pro, but it's like more efficient. And I'm going to do a big video about that. But when you're overclocking, when these units are not made for overclocking, the barrel connector could only hold so much. It's happened to just regular KS Zeros that are overclocked. The barrel connectors melt. That's not even the hard part. My barrel connector stays whole. The barrel connector melts inside the KS Zero. That's how well my cables are made. But the biggest problem is that when you're overclocking, these units are getting bricked. So, I mean, I know a guy, he melted barrel code. He's like, he wanted to try, a customer wanted to try out to see how far we could push it. And he had it for like 6 months overclock. Nothing happened. Or 4 months or something like that. I forgot how long it was. So this guy, look, he was, I had to put a 6-pin on there, but I still didn't recommend, overclocking it. Even though a 6-pin can handle the wattage, those things get extremely hot. The units get hotter than they're supposed to get when they get overclocked. And that's why they basically brick, because they just can't dissipate enough heat. But some people are lucky. It's silicone lottery. But just for future reference, and then I'll stop saying it, my cables are rated for factory settings, and I will know if you did overclock the unit. I'm just saying. I test my units out from 100 degrees Fahrenheit plus. So yeah. I know exactly what the threshold is on all my cables. And it's pretty high. I'm not saying you can't overclock the damn thing. You can do whatever you want. You bought it. But at the end of the day, that's your responsibility. And it's not on me.
Yeah.
But the new cables work on the Ultras. I changed it on the website and everything else, so you guys know. They work on Ultras perfectly fine. I have actually a couple of Ultras that I'm doing testing, and you guys will see it. It's a pretty cool thumbnail, too. Hopefully you guys enjoy the video. But that was
thumbnails are
rant.
on point.
Yeah, that was a little rant. No, because I get a lot of questions, like, hey man, how much can we push the cables? And I was like,
yeah,
as much as your factory settings allow you to,
Yeah.
It's hard. It's hard because I know everybody wants to get every little piece possible. You know what I mean? And I get it, but don't break your units, man. Just let them run. If you want more hash, go buy a more expensive unit, but that's not financial advice because I don't think that's a good decision. Kind of, sort of. You know what I mean? That's my opinion, but just leave them alone, man. Just let them do what they got to do. You know?
Yeah. Some people try to squeeze what they can out of it, but
I get it. But it's just like
I'm like a chart guy, right? Like that will eventually like lower the life of your product, right?
Right.
And because it's not like it's an underclock or it's not like it's like a GPU where it doesn't affect it as much, but like these intense overclocks to try to get the fastest short-term gain will kind of hurt the longevity of the product.
Short-term gain. So
yeah.
It's like how much
looks like that's where Mike's head to bed and bad aces. So good night, guys.
Night, guys.
Say bye.
We're probably about to head out soon too.
We'll wrap up here in about 5-10 minutes and do all of that. But Mike's talking about his barrel is always straight or something.
This guy.
That's good. So that's good.
Good for you. Solid.
Yeah, it's good, man. We're proud of you, Mike. It's good.
Data boy.
And, but we're talking about guns. No guns. No guns. Unless you guys want to get into conspiracy theories. No,
kidding. Jesus. We were supposed to wrap it up. That's another show.
Yeah, we could do another live show about conspiracy. We should just have conspiracy Thursdays. Actually, Mike goes live on Thursdays, right? It's
something like we got to pick another day. We barely have the time to do our shows. Imagine trying to pick another date. It's a lot going on right now. So
yeah, there is. It's but yeah, it's Trump is going after our guns soon. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like after you get shot at, you probably, I don't know. That must. You were in the military, Dave, so I don't know, but I feel like if I have never been shot at, so
it's not a big deal. This duck. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what the fuck is. I don't know what to say. I was in Afghanistan, so what do you?
Yeah.
What do you?
But
it's war.
Yeah,
big difference.
We don't think. Let's talk about near misses, Dave.
You see this scar on my head? No, no.
Yeah, my entire ear is not here. But
what'd you say? Can't hear you.
Yeah.
Oh man, I don't know. It is what it is, man.
It was interesting that did kind of spike the markets a little bit. I don't know if it was like related, you know what I mean? But it sure did look like it, you know what I mean? It's if you grew up in the ghetto, you always got shot at. Yeah. It's but yeah, I have luckily not been fired at that I know of yet. So
good, man. Because
it's good. Let's keep the days coming here.
Yeah, the feeling that shit just goes by your head, over your head.
Yeah.
You feel a man that day.
Yeah, I don't know.
If you weren't a real man, you're a real man that day, buddy.
Yeah.
Like, okay, this is real. We're not actually in some like simulation in fucking California or something. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, exactly. But
yeah.
Well, yeah, it was interesting seeing it. There's always weird events that fluctuate markets, right? The same thing with the stock market. It always kind of. I know that the attempted assassination happened like it was later. It was the markets were closed, But I think that if they were open, there'd be the same thing, right? You'd see all the bots would start reading online or something like that, and just be doing their atomic trades and everything, and it would have affected it. But yeah, no, it seemed like it spiked Bitcoin a little bit, and I think it had that in the chart actually. Here, I'll switch it back over really quick. Yeah, after assassination attempt. Yeah. What was it? How long was that? 5? Oh, that was. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows, right? Like, trying to. I feel like you're always trying to like relate it to, right? Like if Bitcoin goes up or down, you're like, why did it go up and down, right? Like there has to be something that it's correlated to. You know what I mean? And it's not always the case. You know what I mean? There's not always a correlation between it. So it's let's see, Todd Zubat. Being from Ohio, you will not be disappointed in JD Vance. Yeah, I actually did not know a whole lot about JD Vance. You know, prior, he's a young guy. He's like 39. I know he's. Did he go? I think he went to like Harvard Law or something. He has quite the sheet. You know what I mean? I think that's good for Trump too to have.
How old
something
is he?
like
39.
He's 39. Yeah, Trump or JD Vance. Yeah.
All right.
That's
So
what they
Trump's
should
like
do, right? It should.
109.
I think instead of setting an age like limit on who can run for president, because I'm a big believer in age limits for everything, but it should be an average.
Like, watch out with the age, okay?
Yeah, it should be like an average age between the president and vice president. I think that would be a good stepping stone for this. You know what I mean? Because that brings the age down. Then Biden would only need an 18-year-old, and then it would match it. You know what I mean? I'm just kidding. They're really close in age, but I think the market's going to go up. Supposedly, rate cuts are coming. I did hear that. I did that. There are some cuts that are supposed to be expected, but I think that they were actually supposed to be expected prior to now, and they haven't. They've been staying steady, but yeah, I do think that they are going to be cutting here soon. Vance first said he would never vote for Trump. Now the fuck is running mate. Yeah, I know. It's politics. Yeah, it's show business, baby. You know what I mean? Like it's
Behind the doors, everybody loves each other, man. That's what happens.
Yeah. All you got to look at deep state hate JD. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I know we're gonna finish up here in like 5 minutes, so I won't rant about it. But it's you know, I don't know. I don't really see it as like a left versus right thing, right? Like I feel like there's more to the story here. And I'm not saying like deep state or anything like that, like, but it's I don't know. I know we've talked about politics a little bit here, Dave, on the show, but it's all these guys kind of go to the same, you know, country club at the end of the day. You know what I mean?
Oh my god, they're all having fucking pina coladas.
Yeah.
And shit.
So it's like
look at these guys. They actually believe this shit.
Yeah, like JD Vance, he might have talked a lot of shit back then. I mean, everyone talks shit against Trump, you know, then, right? So it's like all this stuff is going to surface again, right? They knew it was going to surface. They've had probably extensive meetings about all of this, but I do also want to mention it's okay to change your mind sometimes, right? Like my political views over the course of my life have changed, right? Like they've swayed a lot into where I don't really feel one. I'm not like, I am definitely leaning one way, you know, definitely more. I always call myself, I'm like fiscally conservative and socially more liberal. You know what I mean? On, you know, social topics, things that don't really affect me. I don't really care, right? Like when I'm thinking of voting, I'm like, who's going to help me? Not a billionaire, and then not this guy, not that guy, but like, how is this going to affect me? Like selfishly, right? Like that's how I'm going to kind of sway it, right? Like I don't care what people do in their houses. I don't care, you know, where people, you know, like all that kind of stuff. Like I don't care. You know what I mean? But the shooter was in a BlackRock commercial. Okay, BlackRock wants Trump dead because he's against free trade. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm all for conspiracy theories, right? Because I mean, Dave, you know, and I'm not. I promise I won't rant about this more than 2 minutes. But
you have
know
minute.
that
I'm counting.
One more minute.
I'm joking.
Yeah, I don't
really,
like. I love my conspiracy theories, right? Like I love wearing like tinfoil hat stuff.
We'll
like
do it one time. We'll do it one time. We're gonna do it.
Yeah, I like reading it. You know what I mean? Because it's interesting. Like I think conspiracies start like interesting topics, right?
Okay.
I don't think that there's like a conspiracy with this, in my opinion. I think that the Secret Service and the local police were grossly negligent. And I know that there's like this line that like this, you know, the police is responsible here, Secret Service is responsible here. I don't really
I'm saying, Mike,
care, you know, but
being in war, and I want to tell you something really quick. Being in war, all I'm saying is this: that I personally think there was a little too much hesitation when that shit happened.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, conspiracy theorists, whatever the fuck, like,
yeah.
There was when I saw everything, like I was like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Everybody was just like,
well, see,
like
that's what drives it.
Crazy, dude. It's almost like, hey, shooter, are you gonna hit him or not? Like, what the fuck? That's what I got. That was the kind of like the vibe that I got. Now I could be way off, dude, but that's like the vibe that I was like, this is crazy, bro.
That's the thing is, it's like if something is so crazy and it's so if
out of left field, this is really out of left field, man.
Yeah, like I think Mike's saying local police are responsible for outer perimeter. I know firsthand. Okay, well the local police there were retarded then, and if they were responsible for that, and this guy crawled up on a thing, it's so crazy that they would be that negligent in securing that area, right? Like insane that I understand why conspiracies would come out of it, right? But on the other hand, you just have to think like, okay, like whoever was in charge of securing that area is just an idiot. Then there's no conspiracy. They were just grossly negligent, right? And they didn't do it on purpose. They didn't like look the other way and like, you know, BlackRock's like, let me send you like a couple $1 million, you know what I mean? It was just like, maybe they were just fucking stupid, you know what I mean? And then
like Hawk says, so I understand what Hawk is saying. You have the inner perimeters, and you have the outer perimeters, right? I'm saying that once the first shot was taken, right? I think the way it's seen was the two shots were taken, and then one shot. It took the sniper just one shot to take it down, from my understanding. Now the thing was, there was a lot of, it was almost like a fucking lag. That first shot, bro. Just look it up. Everybody's gonna see the shit. The first shot, there was so much lag, and then all of a sudden it was like boom, boom. Yeah. And then it was like cover. Yeah. It was just like really weird. I was like, it kind of looked staged, right? It didn't even look real at the time. Obviously, it's fucking real, but I'm saying in the beginning when you're looking at it, and I've been in war, and you know, it's just like, I was like, wow. A lot of people could say it was staged or whatever the case may be. Yeah. Obviously, it's not. But I'm just saying, like, on the outside, looking on the outside, it didn't look. Like, no, I mean, there's a lot of. But that's what I think negligence and stupidity can do, right? Like, I know there's the inner perimeters and outer perimeters, and Todd's saying the Secret Service. I think the Secret Service is probably the most responsible, right? Because those are the guys that are there to protect this, right? Protect running, you know, candidates and stuff like that. They should have known, like they should have some kind of, and they must have some kind of like procedure that they go through to make sure the local police like know what they're doing, right? Like that's the Secret Service's job. They should have people also on the outer perimeter kind of looking at everything, right? Because some of these, you know, like these police officers aren't trained for this all the time. Like I'm sure there's some guys there that are older that have done some stuff and everything like this. But on the thing, because they might put like the local SWAT team or something like that on the on the outer perimeter, Mike, like local. It's not going to be just regular. Then you'll have regular police officers. I'm not taking away from like the categories of police officers, right? So don't take it misconstrued there. But I'm just saying, like, there's certain people that are trained as a regular police officer. Then they have a SWAT team. Then they have other special teams, okay, in the regular local police department. Then you have the sheriff's department. You have everything else or whatever. But like how it works is just that they'll put officers, and then they'll have SWAT as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? There's going to be a mixture. There's going to be a mixture of those guys, and then you have Secret Service, and then, you know. Yeah. So,
but they're, like I said, it's kind of like a chain of command type thing, right? Like I know, like you coordinate with this person, you coordinate with that person, but at the end of the day, like they're someone fucked up, right? Like, and like very bad, and like it should not have happened, right? And so if it was the outer perimeter, it was the local police, but also the Secret Service should have something in place for that. Like you can't just trust the local police department in this random town, not random, completely random, but a smaller town in Pennsylvania, and just hope that they know what they're doing. You know what I mean? Like, this is not what they're trained for.
The Secret Service is trained for that, and then he had
exactly, yeah.
So I mean, there's definitely more than one sniper on the Secret Service team, dude.
More than one sniper?
Yeah.
No, I know. I'm not talking about like the sniper stuff, but they should have more teams like involved with the police departments. Like, it seems like that there's just miscommunication in this completely.
Oh yeah.
Like,
I mean, there's other things like saying people that spotted him right when he was about to like shoot or something.
Yeah, people saw him climbing up there. They said it was like, some people said it was like minutes. You know, it's crazy. Like, I don't know. Like I said, I think it was. If I had to put blame, it would definitely be Secret Service. You know, like those guys are there to like do that job. You know what I mean? And like, they should have had things better in place.
I don't know. Obviously, it's one of those things that we could talk for days and hours and nights about it. But you know,
it's called DEI. I did hear that. Yeah,
it's unfortunate. You know what I mean? This world is this world is nuts, and hopefully we can just all group together and enjoy life. You know what I mean? Hopefully.
Yeah, that's what I think is like, it's
about, you know, just try to.
I think everyone can agree that things like this shouldn't happen. You know what I mean? So that's the biggest thing. And how can, you know, going forward, you know, kind of fix this, right? Because nothing's perfect, right? Like nothing, right. No procedure policy is going to be perfect. It's just getting better at it. But it's
you just
it's crazy.
Get along, man. That's all.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's but it was interesting seeing Bitcoin pump right after that. So it's I know that these things are all related in some way. It's crazy to see markets react to it, kind of like the GameStop thing while he was live. But I don't know, crazy world. Hopefully the next couple months kind of simmer down here, but probably not. But we'll see.
Well, let's get this pump for the Bitcoin. You know what I mean? And then all coins follow up, and let's everybody be happy, and let's get some GPU mining going, and shit, we'll be happy. You know?
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will continue these conspiracies next week on Wired Wednesdays on Dave's channel.
Absolutely.
And I will get my tinfoil hat out for everyone, and we'll go from there. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up, guys. We will see you next week on Dave's channel.
Yeah.
And until then, thanks for stopping by. I appreciate it. And we'll see you guys next week. Peace.